right, 32-0 is our score. The Judson Rockets have the lead, and a comfortable one at that, everybody. Welcome back to Northeast Stadium. The band's on the field right now. Churchill Chargers marching band. They are 301 strong. I'll tell you what, it's a sad situation for the Charger fans right now. As John Kirby stated as we went into our halftime show, no team has ever come back in a playoff game down 32 points. That's not to say that it can't happen for the first time tonight. Churchill just simply not able to muster any kind of offense this evening. And on the other hand, the Judson Rockets flirting with a strong ground game. We had Chris Pryor unofficially with 135 yards in the first half alone, thus taking over the all-time city rushing record, which was formerly held by Pat Sheehan, a running back from Lee High School back in 1965. So that is just one acclaim that Chris Pryor has grabbed tonight. He is the new all-time city rushing leader. And now the Judson Rockets, Greg Simmons, hold themselves a 32-0 lead and have a firm grip on a state semifinal berth next week.
Would you have ever thought it at this point?
No, I really wouldn't have. I knew it was going to be an outstanding ball game between two teams that have faced each other, and of course we all knew that the Judson Rockets had momentum on their side playing against Churchill. The Judson Rockets have won 3 in a row against the Churchill Chargers going back a couple of years, but 32-0, no, did not expect that.
On the field right now, the Judson Rocket marching band providing some halftime entertainment here for you. And of course, the Rocket fans have a lot to cheer about at this point. As we indicated earlier for you, they have dominated the entire first half of this ball game. And as a result, we're going to have some first half statistics for you. As Joe pointed out, Pryor breaking the all-time city rushing record earlier. But also at the same time here, it has to bring up the fact that Jerry Comalander is a very poised and positioned coach. A lot of times he can turn a team around in that halftime locker room, and I'm sure, Joe, that is very much what he is working on at this time.
Well, I don't know. You know, I believe the comment from Coach Comalander in our pregame show about tradition is really appropriate at this point. Tradition can't win you this ball game tonight. Tradition is something you tap, you look back on. It's something that you recall from your years past. Definitely, without a doubt, Churchill has got a strong tradition. In fact, they are the winningest San Antonio high school football team since 1973. They've won 92, they've lost only 8. But that is not tonight. Tonight, the Churchill Chargers find themselves down, and down by 32 points. That is going to be very, very difficult for them to make up.
Indeed. As you see a shot of there, that's the Judson Rocket marching band. And, of course, the dance team and pep squad getting a chance to perform tonight, as we thought they may not, simply because all the rain we had. But it's dried up and been a very good night. We had a temperature of 56 degrees at game time. Winds barely blowing at 6. And as you can see, John Tomasi's 43-yard field goal, indeed, it was not wind-aided. That was all John Tomasi tonight.
Well, Chris Pryor says it's been a very good night. The Churchill defense doesn't necessarily agree with you, but you're right, it has been. We saw early in the game some examples of slick turf. We saw some examples of humidity where they were dropping the ball, but that really, they shook that loose, and when you give the ball to Chris Pryor, you got a guy who can break tackles and break them quite often and frequently. Our halftime show will continue from Northeast Stadium. It's a 32-0 ball game. When we come back, we will introduce you to a very special person out at Judson High School. Stay with us.